And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are still live in Houston, Texas, here at the Outlaws homestand at the Revengeance Music Center. I'm Achilles, hopping on the cast alongside Wolf, and oh boy, do we have an exciting matchup getting ready to come to you guys. This one, it's gonna be Paris Eternal going up against the Atlanta Reign.
See if Paris can put up a better fight. We saw Atlanta with a very dominant victory yesterday. Very one-sided series, and I think this is really going to be more temperature gauge for the Reign right now. They looked dominant yesterday in their very first match of the 2020 season. Can they keep the momentum going, and how far can they bring that double shield that we saw so much yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the biggest things that was so instrumental in the success for the side of the Atlanta Reign, the cohesion and pulling off those Hulk plays with the fire strikes laid in, you know, obviously the Amp Matrix as well, making sure that those fire strikes could get the damage done to kill the enemy team was just superb. Will we see more of that today? Hard to say. Obviously, they've kind of displayed that already. Paris Eternal going to be trying to level up. They were certainly watching that performance very closely yesterday, and then are going to look to counter that here today.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hope, you know, is to be able to try to shut down what Atlanta was showing. A lot of what we saw from Atlanta yesterday as well, countering what we saw from Toronto, countering the dive in particular. We saw the Torbjorn come out there as well, so.
Maybe we have some more of that. Baby Bay is going to be back on the stage here for that side, but we'll take a look at Gator, the guy who won our player of the match just yesterday. Absolutely fantastic breakout performance for him on the Overwatch League stage.
He set up so many great moments with the halts, and it's not just the kills that you see in this highlight reel. We saw obviously that one on Nepal where he was able to yoink everyone into the amplified fire strike, but he's getting solo picks on Lucio's. He's pulling people over walls. I mean, his performance on Blizzard World as well, very impressive. And his Orisa is a staple of the strategy that Atlanta Reign was running, the double shield all day yesterday.
They're also running Baby Bay. Yeah,
Baby Bay over, you know, the likes of Edison and Sharp, the two new pickups, you know, in the DPS line of things. And Baby Bay looked great with this roster. What really stood out to me with Baby Bay was his target selection. He often shut down agilities on the Mei, saved his flashbangs for agilities in a lot of crucial team fights, and headshot him before he could use his ice block, before he could get away. Pulled out the Torbjorn as well, and I mean, I think Baby Bay's here to stay. He's proving that despite 2-star pickups on the roster, he's the OG, but he challenges Xe today, one of you and I's favorite hitscan players from Korea, finally joining the Overwatch League. He's of age, was an Element Mystic player, and he was most famous for McCree, so it's a meta he excels in. Stats here across the board, pretty comparable. Baby Bay has the edge there, but it was a 3-0 one-sided series that he's played in only, and he's obviously at 12 minutes to the 54 in time played.
Yeah, I mean, Xe has been putting up some superb stats for getting nearly up to an hour's worth of playing time there on the McCree, but Baby Bay very close behind him, but we'll have to see how these two Titanic McCrees are going to clash today. Maybe we'll just get, you know, some Torbjorn 1v1s, in fact. That would be great as well.
We'd love to see it. Xe is great on the Hanzo as well. It's very similar playstyle to Corey in terms of his hero pool and how he plays the hit scan, but can flex over to the projectile when need be. He also, at the very end of his career on Element Mystic, was a Zenyatta player, was flex support for Element Mystic, so he's got a big wheelhouse of heroes, and he's one of the reasons why the Paris Eternal are doing so well this season. Absolutely a standout player, you know, and he's filling the shoes of Soon, the legend, you know, so.
Well, somebody else that we just saw there at the end of that highlight, setting up for the arrow kill on Corey, is Hanbin, who has recently made his debut here for the side of the Paris Eternal, and has just been looking absolutely stellar for them.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, Hanbin, you know, couldn't start at the beginning of the season, but he slotted into the roster very well, and this was a big problem for Paris Eternal. They didn't have a proper flex tank, but now Hanbin is here, and he's a great D.Va player. Also, you know, very famous for flexing to Zarya in the Zarya Doomfist meta that we had in GOATS in Korea, so we know his Zarya is very serviceable, very strong. So he's the flex support that this team really needed, and now that he's able to play, I mean, he's doing pretty well in terms of his D.Va metrics already very early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is one of those things where he hasn't played that much. We have to see how this is going to translate across a longer timeline, but so far, very good for Hanbin and for the Paris Eternal, but we'll see if that's enough to take down the Atlanta Reign. Let's go ahead and bring them out first, though. So Houston, please give a warm welcome to the Paris Eternal.
Paris Eternal with a new look this season. An already a great start, replaced soon with Xe. They've made themselves a more Korean roster. They've gotten, coaching staff from Ele Mystic. They picked up several of their players. And Ele Mystic being one of the stronger teams in Korea, they get so much from this. Not just the coaching staff, but these extremely talented Korean players that are already showcasing that their mechanical skill in this meta is good enough, despite language barriers, to bring Paris to a better start than what we saw in 2019.
Yeah, and you always have to remember that they still have Sparkle ineligible to play. We'll see him, after May when he becomes of age to perform. So that is still something to very much look forward to if you are a Paris fan. But for now, let's go ahead and bring their opponents out on the stage. You guys saw them yesterday. They picked up the win. Let's see if they can do it again. Please welcome the Atlanta Reign.
Atlanta Reign, the big fan favorites here in Houston. Crowd is definitely cheering for them a little bit more. And you got to say, with how they played yesterday, this is the team to look out for in this homestand. I think everyone's looking forward to when Atlanta will finally clash against Philly. But yes, it's only one game, it's only one series, and only 3 maps. We have to see how far this goes. And Hawk will be in here over Gator. So we may have seen the last of that double shield. Hawk's a specialist in terms of flex support, whereas Gator can play both. Played a lot of Orisa in the double shield meta. Talked about it yesterday in the Gauntlet as well when that was meta. And, I feel like with this, you're already seeing a change. Atlanta prepared specifically for how Toronto was playing. Now they're perhaps playing just a little bit more standard.
Yeah, just seems like it might just be a lot of diva play coming through this time around for the Atlanta Reign, but it's one map out of potentially several. And we learned that from the Boston versus Outlaw series, that we can have many, many maps
certainly
in a single series. And we'll see how far down the rabbit hole we can tumble with this one. Atlanta Reign going to be looking to be concise and try and join Fusion up at the top of the standings in the league. They can move up 2-0 would be a very strong boon for them.
Yeah, and what's so exciting about this matchup in general is, how we see the comparison of these players across these rosters who have such different backgrounds, which is just really awesome to see. I mean, if you told me that one day I'd cast Xe versus BabyBay in a head-to-head, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, a bit weird. But here we go. Map set. We'll be moving to Busan. Second map will be Kings Row. See who is in the lead or whether or not we have a tie by the time we get ready to go into map number 3. For now, we will be kicking things off on downtown.
The big question on everyone's mind is, how standard will Atlanta play in this series against Paris Eternal? They had the counter strategies prepared for Toronto yesterday, but today, will we just see more McCree May? We've got Hawk in on the Diva over Gator, the Orisa specialist, and from the outset here as the gates open, it looks like we are just going to see standard play. Yesterday we saw Atlanta look good when they had so much time to prepare, but today they're going to the tried and true. They're sticking with the meta, at least here on Busan.
Yeah, not anticipating any sort of dive out of the Paris Eternals, so the Torch Drone not going to be coming through, but still a nice little hover there. BabyBay getting tagged up early. Now Fire Strike through. Nico going to be taken down. Airster finds the first kill. Now pushes forward, trying to get the freeze there onto Ben Best. He's unable to find it as he drops to the low ground, but X is doing exactly the same, but he cannot get around the corner to that many back in time. Mr. finds yet another one here for the May. Now gets in behind Hanfin and looks to take him out of the mech. The help of that Bionade coming through from Dogman. They are able to do so. That's going to be an extended wipe. The first lockdown going to Atlanta.
Xe tried to take the low ground sweep around the side. You could do a lot more damage to the tanks that way. You're going to do more consistent damage if you get away with it. But he was punished by BabyBay and Airster, burst down early in the fight, so that damage was lost. And that means Nico has to pick up the slack and get surrounded and caught there. Huge advantages to the Atlanta Reign now in terms of positioning. They can just hold this choke for the drop downs. You can see the poke out there of FD God. He's trying to get some additional information.
Poco already with the Shatter online. See the Nano come out from him. Tossing that onto Ben Best. Popo getting beaten and battered, but Nano comes out now from Dogman. Drops the Shatter, but doesn't find anything. The Ice Block was ready from Nico. Keeps himself protected. Daywalls come up, trading back and forth now. This is going to be both supports and the Diva knocked out of the mech on the side of the Atlanta Reign. So Paris Eternal certainly with a window of opportunity to get their way over onto the point and get this flip coming through, especially with Airster going down. They will be able to find one as BabyBay is up on the high ground. They have not yet started capping this. Deadeye is out from BabyBay, but it's tagged up by Xe from behind. He'll find the headshot, and that'll be the flip.
Yeah, there's the flip. Just under 50%. Really nice plays by Nico. Nico's been so good this season at stopping these Earth Shatters from getting value. He's avoided them, he's blocked them, he's used walls to prevent follow-up when his teammates are shattered. And you don't always think of May as kind of the counter to Ryan in that regard, but he's a great May player at shutting that value down.
Deadeye out from Baby Bay. Drops down. Looking for a target, but the shields are still raised. Blizzard out from Airster. The beat's going to be coming through. FD God holding on to his for now, but Hanbin has already been eliminated. A nice right click there from Erster, finds the kill. Baby Bay trying to poke out, has the Mega Pack to rely on, gets a little bit of healing. Bomb up over the top from Hawk, looking for a pick off, unable to find one, but will be able to make it back into the mech safely. Bionade thrown down, Nico has to go into the ice block, but Exy is clicking heads. Manages to find both supports, but now to the cost of Benmes and FD God, to losing out on the front line. Other side of the Paris Eternal. Baby Bay gonna be picked off now, Erster gone as well, and Hawk knocked out of the mech. They have no way to mitigate the damage from Exy. He is just ripping people apart.
I mean, Exy and Baby Bay have both done almost the exact amount of damage in this game. They're off by less than 100 damage at the moment I said that. And now, you know, when you look at the value, though, Exy is getting the better priority targets. His damage is being maximized. He's getting those backline kills when he needs to, but he's also willing to chunk down the tanks. Baby Bay playing a lot riskier, looking for just solo kills.
Back successfully. The anti-heal expires. Hanbin wreaking havoc, trying to get on top of Baby Bay. Does set up for a kill from Ben Best, but the Fire Strike goes through. Exy going to be taken out. Now both supports gone. For the side of the Paris Eternal, Atlanta Rain going to get the flip back as Paris Eternal hits 90% on the meter. The poop away onto the Baby Diva just to ensure they can get that 50% now for Atlanta Rain climbing towards the top.
The big question is how much, you know, how conservative can they be with their ultimates here? They have the Deadeye, they have obviously the Blizzard. The Blizzard, the easiest ultimate to use in these choke points. Oh, take a look at Popo here in the replay. I'm gonna grab that shatter. There it is. And you can see Nico actually is able to block himself there. He's so good at reacting to those, but doesn't save the rest of his team. But regardless, you know that Blizzard, how they use it here with the Deadeye is the big question. Just gonna zone with the Deadeye to try to Blizzard at 99 or as close to 99 as they can get.
They're trying to boost him up over the top, but Baby Bay slipped off the ice wall, and Airster just going to be taken down, stunned up. Now the Blizzard for the side of Atlanta Rain, not going to be the fight. Nico has his online with that sound barrier shield rolling. Bedman swinging away, takes out Dogman. Bombs out, Hanbin trying to make his way back into the back, is unable to do so, but Hawk is gone. Baby Bay off the side with a poop from FD God. Somebody needs a tag. See Popo swapping over onto the Wrecking Ball. Has to get in here very quickly. We'll be able to touch.
Masa's nearby as well.
Someone to the high ground.
They knocked him away.
Oh my goodness, the knock away with the pile driver. He lands on the high ground, does not force out the overtime.
They knock him away, and that's actually on Masa.
Beautifully done.
Masa was there. They wanted to stagger it, right? But you've got to realize that you have to be closer in that moment. Had Masa been closer there, he could have tagged as soon as he realized that there was a possibility he'd be knocked away. Let's take a look at this again. So look, you could see Masa on the approach here as well. But here he comes, Pokepo. And Masa stayed, he went back. He could have stayed earlier, but he's a bit late. There's a knock away, and then he doesn't get the touch. Masa went back to help speed boost the Wrecking Ball in so they could have two players on the point to touch, but he wasn't there in time. You just expected the Wrecking Ball is going to get there fast enough, and without a boop, it would have, but, you know, you got to be prepared for those situations.
Sometimes in moments like that, you don't want to play conservatively. You just have to get your body on the point. And that is going to be costing them. Atlanta Rain giving up a round now to the Paris Eternal. Is that going to be enough for Paris to close out this first map? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, we've got Exy on the Widowmaker. Hawk into the back, trying to hound him down. And Baby Bay has the flank angle. Great distraction, great coordination between the off tank and the hit scan player. Managed to find that major pick off, and it's going to force Exy off the Widowmaker. Flashbang on the side, shield comes up, does protect Nico as he makes his way into the ice block, but Hanbin has been desuited and taken out.
Good sleep.
Taking a nap. Will be woken back up. Haven't quite killed him off yet. People missing their shots, but the fists start flying.
The opening kill there for Baby Bay is everything. Exy doesn't get to control sight lines. The Widow matchup is favorable versus McCree in most cases, especially on Sanctuary. It's the best control map for it. And he gets killed instantly because Baby Bay is a very aggressive player. He looks for that kind of risky pick. He kills the Widow, and that's it. He can do whatever he wants, and he just cleans up. He's got a Deadeye as well. Exy with the late swap. It's obviously very far behind in that regard.
See if he can catch up. Deadeye will be coming through as they push forward. They're trying to get on top of Baby Bay. Shots come out, and that's going to cost Hanbin his mech. Doesn't have the defense matrix lasting long enough to keep him alive. Nano boosts out on both of the Reinhardts as they go ahead and swing at each other. Pin's not going to connect from either side, but Pokpo will be kept alive, and Benbest will crumble in the end. So still going to be Atlanta Reign maintaining control of the point.
This is really nice for the Reign. You can see Nico, despite losing 2 major team fights, is actually almost matching Aristar in terms of the Blizzard charge. So they have this ability to trade in Blizzard second even if they can. Hanbin's great at eating those, absorbing those. So if they could try to bait this out, that might be their best chance. Otherwise, I mean, it's pretty even in terms of ultimates. Atlanta Reign, positional advantage.
Up with the main wall, trying to isolate somebody, but only finds Hanbin as he makes his way to the top of the drum. Shadow going to be dropped in. That's going to be 3 members of the Paris Eternal hitting the ground. FD God, however, survives, but he'll be taken down to the back end. He had that sound barrier coming up, but couldn't get that off fast enough to try to keep his teammates alive. And in the fight, we'll have to reset one last time. 80% here for the Atlanta Reign.
They'll get one more fight, and they will have the Blizzard advantage this time.
Still getting so delayed. Hip just now dying. That is so costly. They're going to have to go with just one support.
It was the poke we saw from Hanbin on the high ground there. Wasn't enough. He ended up not being in the zone to block the Blizzard. Aristar's halfway to another one. So much damage from this May player. Nico's got one shot at this.
Not to the back, and Benbest already going to be taking down the Fire Strike, goes through the shield, manages to find the Reinhardt. Deadeye not going to connect from Baby Bay. He's still dangerously low, rolls to the side. Tries to create some peel for Pokpo, but he will still be taken down. Now Aristar going to fall. Hanbin finding the enemy May. Can't get to that Blizzard quite yet. Now Baby Bay taken out as well, so it seems like this will not be the end for the Paris Eternal. One last hurrah. One flip coming through. Atlanta Reign now on the reset.
Really nice support ults coming out for the Eternal. And you can pretty much always win a fight if your opponent's May goes down first when you have those heals coming through, because May not only does consistent damage, can freeze targets, but also has the ability to survive with extra healing better than almost any other DPS in the game. So, you know, Nico ends up getting the Blizzard off and they win the longer fight, but they had to use a lot of ultimates to do it, and Reign only need one fight, and Aristar's Blizzard we were just talking about is ready this time. So let's see if Hanbin's got a better chance this time at beating that.
Damping it up, they get the cutoff here on the Pokpo, they freeze him. So already bad start to this push for the side of the Atlanta Reign. Flashbang connects on the FD God, but he falls back behind some cover, so keeps himself safe. Masa will be taken out now.
Kind of
40% for Paris Eternal. They can afford the Atlanta Reign to drain some time away.
Kind of greedy by Hawk there to stick around that long. They didn't actually get a great stagger on him, so it's not the end of the world, but it's going to buy Paris some time, and Nico gets that Blizzard to match Aristar's now, because that was the big advantage the Reign had, this Blizzard advantage, and they don't have that anymore. Sound barrier going to be up for both Lucios. I mean, this is kind of winner takes all, this fight right here. Paris will have to win a second one, but if they lose this one, they lose the round, and we'll go to a third. So this fight is so important for them.
I'm all about it. I'm ready to go the distance for this series. Nico nearly taken down, and Antites is going to be out of the fight for a little bit longer. Blizzard thrown down by Aristar. Now Nico matching. Pokpo manages to get his way out before becoming frozen. Aristar going to get locked up there for the moment. The sound barrier was out. Now FD God is going to be dropping his, but they've already lost 2 members on the side of the Paris Eternal. This is the fight that they have to win if they want to go ahead and close this out 2-0, but that is not going to occur. Atlanta Reign, they clean it up. Hip desperately swapping over onto the Moira, trying to buy some extra time. Benbest going to be coming back in, does have a Shatter available, and Nico swapping over to the Doomfist, but can they stay on the point long enough? Hip makes his way through, but is instantly greeted with a sleep dart from Dogman. They have to get the touch. The Maywall comes up. Benbest cannot make his way onto the point, and we have a final round. Mecha base to decide the victor of map 1.
You can just see how much Atlanta Reign prioritizes the May. They're focusing Nico down a lot in these fights. In that last fight, he had a Blizzard. They knew that was Paris' win condition. And you can see if you go back and watch that, Nico drops down to less than 10% health. He's also bio-grenaded, so can't heal himself, so has to fight. He's out of the fight, can't utilize his Blizzard, and then they're able to zone him out. When he does drop the Blizzard, it's too late. He's too far away. The Reign get the better Blizzard and close in on the point. And it's really Baby Bay, it feels like, who's leading the charge and making sure these Mays get shut down. He did it yesterday to Agilities, and now Nico is having his fair share of problems. But they really understand how to win these longer fights. They know their win conditions versus the May, and it's good to see Atlanta, you know, not only well-versed in the counter strategies they did yesterday, but in the standard meta as well. They absolutely know how to play it.
Not going to be clashing. Up on the top center of the map will be the walkway approach for the side of the Atlanta Reign. Playing this one out patiently, poking as best as they can with Baby Bay's range. Dart goes forward, does manage to find Hanbin, but no real way of capitalizing here.
Try to get the follow-up nade while he's slept there, but it doesn't work out.
That doesn't lead to much. Baby Bane trying to take control. Double tap, now triple tap from Exy. Nearly falls down, has to just go ahead. Reapproach, get closer to his teammates. Pokepo gonna be frozen up. Managed to find the first kill of the round. Hawk looking for some pushes off the side of the map, but can't quite get them far enough over the edge. Atlanta Range is gonna go ahead and have to peel back now. Yeah. It does fall, but that's about as good as it gets so far.
Airster ends up getting way more damage done here, and we keep talking about Blizzard advantage. I mean, that's, you know, if this were GOATS, that's the Graviton surge of this meta in a lot of cases. They got to win this fight right now early with that Blizzard advantage.
And it was out. Popo got slept for a little bit, but did wake him back up. You can see on the low ground, Deadeye out, unable to find anything. They just wait for that to expire. Answering Deadeye now coming through from Baby Bay. Doesn't find anything. Gets the one tap there on the Nico. Follows up, gets a second headshot. Dogman dunks on the hit with the Bionade, taking him out. Baby Bay finds Exy around the corner. Team wipe comes through. Only 36% of the board for Paris Eternal. Atlanta Rain now in control.
I'm telling you, it's the mate control that Atlanta knows exactly how to play this. They're prioritizing their heals on Airster. They're focusing down Nico in all of these fights. You saw Airster the second he got Blizzard, it's already being thrown. The animation is already out. He places it well, and they zone Nico out, who still hasn't gotten his first Blizzard despite capping the point first.
Hiding back together. Atlanta Rain surrendering a bit of ground. Maywall going to be coming up, but lobbed up over the top is the Diva Bomb, and Hip's going to be taken out. Nowhere to hide. Pokepo with a Fire Strike will also find FD God, so no supports in the fight. No chance at dropping the beat here for Paris Eternal. Atlanta Rain just now take the lead, and they hold on to the point.
And they have this point controlled in such a way to they can control the chokes here, get Airster a lot of that last percent that he needs to match Blizzard. This is a very risky moment for Benbest to step out there. Had Airster been nearby, he might have been frozen his way out, but he gets a little bit of Fire Strike ult charge. Got a time buy here. Paris are not giving over free ult charge, they're just trying to bring around the Rosie. They do get out.
Gonna wrap around the other side. The Maywall, however, gonna be cutting off a decent portion of the team. Beat gonna be coming through to save Pokepo. Answering Beat now out from FD God as Benbest is bionated and down below half HP. Deadeye rolling, gets a little bit of chip damage onto Hanbin, but doesn't find a kill. Bomb gonna be lobbed out over onto the point, does not find anything as everyone hides. Members of the Paris Eternal just falling lower and lower. FD got the first one to fall, but the amps are back. They managed to find Pokepo, and Hanbin finds an eat on the Blizzard. Airster gets denied, gets pinned, gets knocked out. That should be Paris Eternal finding a flip here in the final hour. Atlanta Rain moving up 91%. Paris back on the board.
It was extremely patient Achilles too. What we saw from the Paris Eternal, they would not be blocked out of the choke. They forced their way out after tripping up the Atlanta Rain, jumping back and forth. Then they get this nice flank angle. Look at where Benbest is. He's nano boosted here. It's kind of like a pincer move they have where they trap Atlanta Rain as Atlanta Rain's trying to catch up with their positioning. Really nicely done.
Superb turnaround for the Paris Eternal. Still a ways to go, but that is a very good start to holding on to this point as Dogman will be taken down. The Shatter not going to be finding too much for Benbest, but it does not matter. The rest of the team has his back. He has the pin on Masa, and they collectively have control.
Now Exy with this Deadeye can buy time for Nico's final Blizzard here.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
The breakout star on this squad was Xe. Just went off on his game.
But look at that damage. Oh my goodness.
Tried to chase it down. That's filthy. Filthy stuff. I mean, the double ding, they get 3.
But he's definitely a god.
Here we go. This is what you wanted to see.
Matt, this is just one of 3 players coming from that 11 Mystic squad, and he's already made a splash.
Oh, McCree's gonna need a back brace. The Xe is on the hard carry for the last 90 seconds. It's been ridiculous.
This McCree is looking good.
That guy is absolutely insane.
Well, there's a couple more highlights can be added to that video after our first map. Xe looking quite strong still for the Paris Eternal. They pick up map 1 of Busan. Now we get ready to go to King's Row for Hybrid and see if we can get a tied up series.
Xe out-damaging BabyBay in that 3-round series by quite a significant amount of damage. And the reason why is it's a differing play style, right? I mean, the flashy players, the players that people remember are the players like Carpe, the players like Soon who take risks and don't play safe. BabyBay's kill on Xe, for those who remember just on that previous map on Sanctuary, are the moments that you remember. That's the kind of risky player that BabyBay is oftentimes, whereas Xe is a consistent damage output player. He doesn't care if he gets the flashy kills, he doesn't care if he gets the dual kill, he just wants to maximize damage. His Deadeye there at the end guaranteed them the cap. Ends up 9.5k damage per 10. The critical hit accuracy, 14%, and that's not that much higher than you would expect on average. But that's because Xe's looking to break the tanks down. He's looking to do that consistent damage. He's not looking for solo kills on the flank. And that's a different playstyle.
Well, already pretty close. We got that 2-1 to settle Busan. Now let's see how far we can go with King's Row. And whether or not this will be a tied up series. I, for one, like I said before, am fully prepared for a 5-map set. We'll see if we can go that far. I know a lot of the people here in the audience are going to be chomping at the bit that have that Outlaws game come up at the end of the night.
Oh, I'm excited for it.
But if we get some more Overwatch action in between then and now, then I'm also about that.
Well, Atlanta to defend first, and it will be the same composition here. Xe's going to look for that opening Widow kill. You know, almost as if to say that everything I just said about his playstyle isn't true, but every Widow will go for that shot.
Got it lined up.
Yep,
in the skybox, there it goes, lets it loose.
We'll see.
Well,
nice.
It looked decent, but it didn't get anybody.
Absorb.
No.
Nico,
Sometimes unlucky.
on the Doomfist, they're doing Doomfist Reaper Hanbin on that Zarya I was talking about. This is an old Element Mystic special here, the Doomfist Zarya. Very powerful.
Well, rough start when the Lucio goes down, so
Yeah.
that's just going to be a big Hulk coming through.
You don't have as much coverage without the D.Va, and you're going to have, you know, sometimes you get hit by a rogue icicle. Not really FD God's fault there. Great play by Airster, though, checking for that. Baby Bay here on the high ground, but it's actually not going to do much for the front line here when Hanbin starts blasting through with that energy.
See Nico getting into the back, but will get locked up. Take it down. Baby Bay managing to find the kill here on the second approach, but one tick still going to be given over for free. Baby Bay does get a second. Now he's looking for hip. Right, get rid of both supports. He's able to do so, but Ben Best finds 3. Suddenly, this is still doable for the Paris Eternal. Not that far of a run back for them. They're still on the point. Second tick, getting ready to come through. Baby Bay gets another headshot, but the point is still just bleeding away for the Atlanta Reign. And with Baby Bay being the only one there, despite his heroics,
Yeah, I mean,
they
look,
just have to surrender it. 5 minutes plus.
That's what I'm talking about. Baby Bay is on the high ground, but he can't win that tank war. He takes Hanbin out, but it's too late. Benbest and Hanbin do too much damage on the ground. And despite the fact that he was able to get so many free pot shots and was uncontested, had a high ground advantage, it's not going to be enough to stop this Reinhardt Zarya from just barreling onto the point. He killed Nico straight up, but there was nothing else after that.
Bubbles out, maybe looking for the Shatter setup, but that's going to expire, and the Blizzard is thrown down by Airster. Benbest pinned, eliminated. So far, only Baby Bay found for the side of the Paris Eternal. Nico trying to get some damage in, but Popo just pulls 4 people with the Reinhardt. They'll go ahead, wall off to ensure that he is safe as he takes a quick nap.
Blizzard's so incredibly powerful in this archway, especially against a Reinhardt Zarya type composition. There's not much you can do about it. There's no D.Va to absorb, so you see the Blizzard come through. Everyone's trapped here by the ice wall that Airster puts up, and then Popo just gets to line them up and knock them down. Super easy peasy, but the next fight's going to be the tough one. Hanbin will have to get energy first.
Shatter going to be dropped in by Popo, doesn't find anybody. Pin comes out, Nico going to be eliminated. Dogman with the Bionade manages to find him, and Freeze comes through on a Benbest. Grab invested, manages to help find 2. The Death Blossom claiming 1, but now they come back in as FD God finds himself a double kill. Kraken Skulls gets the right-click kill now on the Dogman. FD God puts them right back into this fight. They can start pushing through the choke.
It's such a sustainable composition. You have the lifesteal on the Reaper. You have, obviously, Hanbin who's getting healed up, who's got shields, he's got high energy, and he just breaks through the front line. Once the Blizzard's gone, this is tough. This has always been a strong composition on King's Row since 2016. Reinhardt Zarya Reaper, Beyblade, I mean, it's very powerful. Paris is bringing a new strike. Here's the Nano.
Yeah, Nano is out looking for the pin, doesn't find it. Good heat on that Fire Strike, denies a bit of damage and stops Benbest from getting the Shatter that much faster. Barrier now going to be dropped in for FD God. He gets a knockoff on the Dogman. Tumbling into the abyss, now finds Baby. FD God has been doing so much work these last few fights, now looking to hound down Masa. He'll be eliminated by Hanbin, and just like that, Paris Eternal push their way into point B. They still have such a healthy time bank.
Hanbin's got high energy, he's got a grab, they have this choke point controlled. Airster's got a Blizzard, and that's going to be the toughest fight for the Paris Eternal, because remember, they don't have a D.Va, they have any way to shut that down, unless they can force an ice block early. Actually on the flank here. Nico is going to be able to set up the Space Jam combo with the grab.
Bubbles out, drops down, but Bubble expiring before he really got engaged into the fight, so Nico just gets melted as soon as he hits the ground. Nice kills coming through for the Atlanta Reign, despite losing out both their supports. Will be able to go ahead and grab control of this cart for a period of time.
Yeah, and as soon as Hanbin goes down here, you have to think they'll swap composition, although he may get away.
Hanbin goes down.
Yeah, he may get away here.
Airster now actually going to be picked off. Nico trying to turn this one around. Baby Bay just now respawning. FD God finds Masa. Popo taken out. Just like that, Atlanta Reign have overstepped. They chase way too far from the Hanbin. And the cart is rounding the final corner. They still have 3.5 minutes plus in the time bank.
You can't let that happen. They way overchased against a Zarya, who now has another grab basically online. High energy, choke controlled.
Everybody is locked in here. Meteor Strike drop down, doesn't find any kills. Benbest and Popo both gonna fall in exchange on the Reinhardt. Hawk has to dump the bomb, but can't make it back into the mech. Masa alone has to try to delay, but he is pushed off, and just like that, one chase forward, trying to find the Zarya is one big throw.
I mean,
Paris Eternal finished with 3 minutes, 17 seconds.
If you don't chase there, then you leave so many opportunities open for yourself. You know that Hanbin's not gonna have energy. He probably has to swap. He's not gonna have a grab. They have to change their comp. You bring the momentum back into your favor. You give him the energy, you give him the kills, you overchase, you give the momentum. Zarya is such a momentum-based hero with those shields, with the energy that she builds up. And what a mistake there to overchase. They got punished hard. And Paris bring in Ryan Zarya. I mean, not something you expect to see, but the execution was crisp and a few small mistakes on Atlanta's side.
I mean, the thing that we were praising Atlanta for so much yesterday was the cohesion, the calls, the synergy between everybody on the roster, but now it seems like the synergy is kind of still there, but they're making the wrong calls. They're not really identifying the proper move in these situations that they find themselves in, and they overstep, and it costs them dearly. It seemed like the time bank should have been so much less, but you have to think about where Paris Eternal started, over 5.5 minutes. Even with that time big train coming through with the initial choke control in the streets phase, Atlanta Rain just could not dwindle that down far enough. 3 minutes plus right now with the way that the meta is still quite impressive for the Paris Eternal.
You're absolutely right. I mean, that's a time make you don't see very often in a meta like this. And generally speaking, even on Kings Row across the year, is one of our more popular maps. I think for pro players and casuals alike. It's just one of the oldest ones, but
it's always been stock standard.
Stock standard. Mirror matchup here. Baby not even going to look for the opening shot. They're going to hit the ground running here with the McCree. And we'll see how Xe decides to play it. Will he play that safe style that he played on Busan, where he just kind of hangs back?
Taking a little bit of damage, but the healing is good. Paris know how important it is to keep him alive and in the fight. Already getting some headshots through, and Hawk is going to be knocked out of the mech, so good D-suit there.
And you can see it, Baby's on the flank here. There's a playstyle difference. He's trying to look for the flank kills. Xe's shooting tanks. He sees Baby. Baby does escape, but a close call there for Baby.
Oh, flashbang for flashbang. Comes out on top. Baby taking a little bit too much damage, but does manage to find Ben Best. Xe, however, gets a little bit of revenge for him, then follows up onto Airster. Also going to be taken down, and just like that, that window of opportunity with these eliminations is gone.
Spawn advantage for Atlanta. This is actually a scary moment for Paris Eternal.
Need to get back in there right now, though. Hawk starting to advance. Ben Best going to be coming back through quickly. He is now at the archway. You managed to put Popo onto the point. They're halfway to that first tick. Paris Eternal can give some room over to Atlanta Rain. They can afford that, but now they go ahead and put Ben Best down for bed, and FD God gets eliminated, so suddenly this is looking pretty dire for Paris Eternal on this initial defense. Donovan makes his way around the back, tries to contest as best as possible, but will be de-suited rather quickly. Oh, they try to set up the Maywall drop with a shatter, but Popo instantly gets greeted with that sleep guard. Fantastically done by him to deny that, but despite his heroics, this will still be a one fight for the side of the Atlanta Rain.
And if we scroll back time, the real winner here was Baby. He went for the risky play, went for the flank, and they ended up trading kills there throughout that crossfire, and traded kills favored the attacker on Kings Row A and on hybrid A's on most maps. So very impressive stuff there that they were able to make that decision to say, we're gonna commit in and trade kills, and Mossop delayed there. They got the spawns coming back through. And then you see Dogman get a great sleep on to Ben Best, who pointed out the choke. And Atlanta could match the time bank with a start like this, the ult advantage they currently hold.
They need this to go off without a hitch. That's a really good start for Hawk. Manages to take away Nico's Blizzard, but Baby does fall. Bombs available from Hawk, does not use it in conjunction with the Blizzard. Bomb comes up now from Hanbin, finds himself a double kill. Popo and Airster both going to be eliminated. And just like that, Paris Eternal should have regained control of this card. Sub 4 minutes now for Atlanta Rain. Xe just looking to hold the line as best as possible. Barely misses out on that final shot. Baby survives with a sliver, but as I say it, let's take it down.
Yeah, he was, he was kind of in a bad spot. Not his fault there. He's got to walk through line of sight to get out, or he's playing an even more dangerous game. I'm just going to try to poke here from high ground. It's woken up. And they have the choke controlled, but with no Blizzard to hold it, definitely opportunities here for the Rain to break through if they can get Baby into position. Just delaying right now with this wall.
Wall comes up, Shatter gonna be dropped in. Popo looking for something, manages to knock Hanbin to the ground, but they can't get on top of the mech fast enough. Popo, however, tosses out the fire strike, manages to find Xe, swings away, gets a kill on the Ben Best. The defensive line has now been broken, but already a decent amount of time chewed up by the Paris Eternal, and they're still quite far away from point B.
Yeah, I mean, in a normal circumstance, you'd feel really good for the Reign here because you'd think to yourself, okay, well, that was a great fight. The Shadow for Benbest, not so great, only hits Baby. They can't capitalize. The choke fight goes badly. But because of the time bank that you mentioned, because Atlanta Reign have such a great time bank, you're actually thinking to yourself, if you're an Atlanta fan, like, it's good, but is it good enough? Is it fast enough? And so far, the answer seems like no.
2 minutes and 40 remaining as they get closer over to B. Popo nearly with another shatter online. Benbest slightly getting cut off there. Maybe knocked to the ground, but Deadeye comes out, can't do anything, but Hawk eats another blizzard from Nico. A major deny. Hawk looking very good here in this debut game. Shatter comes down, Popo can't find anything. Sound barrier still going to be used by FD God all the same. Bomb available for Hanbin, getting melted out of the mech, might have to use it, and he does. It also takes down Baby Bay before getting desuited. They're falling as well, so there's no GPS available on the side of the Atlanta Reign. Now the tank line going to be broken down as well, so this is a great reset for the Paris Eternal on defense.
So huge for them. At least Dogman does escape with that nano boost. We'll see a further delay onto Hawk here, so very painful for the Atlanta Reign. Looks like he is going to escape. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon on that one. Next he gets the kill though, padding the stats. So anyway, going back to the issue at hand, they have a Blizzard, and they have a really great fighting chance of using it to win this next fight. But the question is, where does Paris take the fight? Because if they can take it at this archway or near the archway, away from the cart, they're going to play it a little bit more conservatively though, staying back.
They want to cover their flank angles, make sure there's no way for Baby Bay to get into the back. They can watch the staircase, they can watch that right side wraparound, which is exactly where Atlanta Reign's going to be going towards.
Yep. Deadeye out.
Deadeye is out, the bomb goes into the back. Looking for a pick, Hawk finds nothing. Shatter comes down, 3 members stuck on the side of the Reign. The Blizzard now coming out from Airster, trying to turn the fight around as Dogman does fall. Ben going to be knocked out, Baby Bay gets the kill with a Deadeye, but Popo will be taken down. Now Masa going to be gone. Both support's going to be out of the fight. Xe finds Airster, and this is so dire for Atlanta Reign. They have to finish the map. They only have 45 seconds left to make it into B. And it's going to be another brutal stagger on the Hawk.
I mean, that was your stereotypical bomb shatter combo, by the way. Bomb goes over the Rhine, coming out from Hanbin. Popo has to turn around, the shatter comes out. And now they just get so much delay. And already, with the 3:17 time bank, it's painful when you roll into B with 2 minutes. They might not finish B at this point. Look at this, they got the Blizzard in the choke.
Pushing forward, yeah, they cannot get to E. The shatter is good, though. Finds 4 members, but can they turn it around? The answer is going to be no. Xe takes down 2. Dogman and Popo put in the grave. Flashbang out, Baby Bay trying to find something, trying to get rid of that Reinhardt.
No one
can
cannot
do it. Popo swaps over onto the Wrecking Ball. Maybe he can make it there in time, but he's being frozen up.
Masa's on it.
Gets in the back, but they identify this. It's not going to be a back cap. Everybody instantly pulls back to get rid of the enemy Lucio. They'll dip around the corner, trying to heal up as best as possible. The boop's coming through. Popo arrives with the Wrecking Ball, but he doesn't have enough room to spin around the cart to push them away. Pile Driver comes in, he'll be frozen up. Ursa manages to find a Hotbit, but Masa going to be taken down. Now Dogman eliminated. There's no supports in the fight for the side of the Atlanta Reign, and FD God just now gets the sound barrier available. Takes half HP in damage. Still does not drop the beat. Now manages to do so. They've already gotten rid of the Reaper. They've gotten rid of the Wrecking Ball. The Diva is gone, and Paris Eternal are moving up 2-0 over the Atlanta Reign.
Hanbin with a great bomb to set that shatter to win them the initial fight on the point. And then it just take a choke point fight. You know, I talked about earlier, how are they going to use a Blizzard? Are they going to fight on the point or in the choke? They win the first fight with the bomb combo, and the Blizzard comes back when they have that choke control. They don't let anyone touch. Masa sneaks through, but he's alone, and you're fighting a losing battle when only your Lucio can get to the point.
Incredible performance by the Paris Eternal. Atlanta Reign now need to reverse sweep if they want to start their season off with a 2-0 match record. Crazy stuff. We'll see if they can pull it off after the break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. Rank up with America's first and only nationwide 5G network.
Atlanta was coming into the day with a lot of momentum from their debut win yesterday, but Paris is doing their best. Stop putting Atlanta rain puns in the teleprompter. I'm not reading them. Welcome back, everybody, to the game break presented by Cheese It Grooves.
I didn't read it. You're the host.
Yeah.
You're the host.
They have tried to put rain on their parade in the prompter like 4 times, and I'm not doing it anymore. I am cheesy. Listen to any of my broadcasts. I'm cheesy, but not that cheesy. But Cheese It Grooves are even cheesier, by the way.
Yeah.
Haha. It was back and forth on map 1, but Paris ended up taking Busan. Bit of a slobber knocker, guys. It's a little bit hard to identify like key moments because there was a lot of high-flying DPS play. Hanbin looked really good individually. The tanks also. Popo had some moments. What are your thoughts?
It was like both teams got into a bar fight. I mean, everyone just kind of like everywhere. I mean, I've never been in a bar fight.
Busted
I've seen them, but I've never been in one.
Do you really not think he's been in a bar fight before?
I haven't.
Look at your nose. I'm sure you've had a few bits,
no,
mate.
I only do things I know I can win at. I know a bar fight's not one of them. But
is that why you don't do anything? Is that why you just stay in your house?
Yeah, pretty much. I just play games because I'm good at them. But Hanbin was really good in map number 1. I think we talked so much about like XC, right, on the Paris Eternal, and his flashy McCree play and FD God, where Hanbin's gone a little bit under the radar in terms of his impact on the game. But I think he was really spectacular in map number 1. Matt Marcel in the back was saying that I believe I did the first 2 maps, like 10 final blows, like on average.
He has the 3rd most final blows so far in this match.
Yeah.
And the 3rd most hero damage.
Fun fact as well, like now, I'm sure Captain Planet will give you the proper read on this stat, but Hanbin is leading, I believe, in kills that come as a result of using D.Va's rocket boosters. Look, that could be interpreted a lot of different ways, but he's been very aggressive and he's been displacing a lot of targets there and causing disruption. And he's really in the thick of these fights.
We're just making up stats that Ben's going to have to correct.
Making up more stats.
I mean, I am not held accountable at all for that. Like, I could literally tell you the Earth is flat.
We're guests, so we can do that.
That's exactly right.
We're allowed to.
My predictions don't even count. So let's go to King's Row then. Again, another map that was really messy. A lot of the fights definitely hinged on, Reinhardt's getting nanoed quite a few times, like it'll be Ben Best and Popo both nano just staring at each other, like the Spider-Man meme, like just waiting for each other to make a move.
I mean, honestly, like the aggression coming out from Paris Eternal so far is just like so hard to deal with. It's almost like watching the Vancouver Titans last year. And I'm not even kidding. Like Ben Best, his aggression when he's playing with the Nano Boost, and then Hanbin just goes in with the D.Va as well. It's just so much aggression that Atlanta Reign is having a really tough time dealing with it. I think Atlanta Reign, they came into this matchup and they were like, okay, we're going to play well-rounded, solid. We're going to play the Ryan D.Va compared to yesterday and just have a good game and capitalize on mistakes from Paris. But Paris Eternal, they're playing so aggressive that Atlanta Reign, they're just succumbing to this aggression and can't really deal with it.
Yeah, and Paris came out with that Doom Reaper comp with the Ryan Zarya, and they really threw.
It's so aggro.
I mean, you have to play. That's the only way you get any value out of it, right? The Doom has to go in, the bubbles, the Zarya pushes
Hanbin looked unkillable as well on that attack. Like, even in fights where the rest of Paris are getting dominated, he was just fully charged up all the time.
There was the one where they got checkpoint B, and then like he's the only one alive, and he's just kind of like down by the mega health
Someone
pack
explained
on the right.
to me,
He lived forever.
Explain to me how he was getting shield value against like that a May composition. Like, where was the charge coming from for the Zarya?
It's the Doomfist on the dive in. Like when the Doomfist dives in, you have to end up using the bubble onto him, and then hopefully like the Doom is good enough where I think Nico is to be able to get out, right? Use the bubble, get in, try and get a kill, maybe some damage, then get out. And then by that time, you have a bubble for your Rhine to then push up and start swinging.
That's the same concept as Toronto tried to use against Atlanta on Nepal Village yesterday with Nevix on that Zarya, but it didn't work because they were against a bit more of a counter composition. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the more crucial moments. It's crunch time now, presented by Cheese It Grooves. So who have we got here?
The man himself, it's Hanbin, right? We've already talked about this guy plenty so far this game break, but I mean, he's been so clutch with these D.Va bombs, and you saw this fight here on King's Row. Gets a quick 2K with the self-destruct, and it's in the middle of a fight, right? So what happens is Paris Eternal, they are so aggressive to begin with, and it throws Atlanta Reign off, and then you throw up a self-destruct on top of that when everyone is already scattered. It's so easy to get value from it. So credit to Hanbin for staying alive. 40 health on the D.Va when he throws this out, and he just managed to find 2 kills because there's a May all over the place. Ben Best is over in some other corner, and it's just so much going on.
And there's a boot from FD God over to the side.
He's been so good as well.
That knocks the May back into the self-destruct as well to set up one of those.
Why are we wrong in our predictions? Like, why are Paris exceeding expectations and looking like they might be able to win?
Atlanta looked really good yesterday.
Well, I think, Paris Eternal, they are just so aggressive, and I don't think we accounted for this, really. I thought we were going to be like a pretty well-balanced match, like mutual respect for each other, but Paris Eternal, they are playing like they have no respect for Atlanta whatsoever, and they're just going in. And that's pretty hard to adapt to and deal with. So I'm impressed by Paris so far. It's going to be hard for Atlanta to adapt in the second half.
The McCree matchup's been fun to watch. No respect there, that's for sure. So let's jump back to the rest of the match and see if Paris Eternal can avoid cocking this one up. We'll see you afterwards for Watchpoint Reset.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Cheez-It Grooves. Deep flavor, deep crunch. It's a mind crunch.
And welcome back. We are over halfway through this series between the Atlanta Reign and the Paris Eternal, and as you can see, Paris leading 2-0. No one really could have expected this. I thought this was going to be a bit of a closer series between these two squads, but right now it's looking like a blowout. Reign in the position of having to reverse sweep to get a win.
And Reign aren't playing like they played yesterday. They're not running the double shield. It's Hawk over Gator, and we're seeing D.Va. We're seeing the mirror matchup with the May and McCree. And with Nico's playstyle combined with Xy's and the more defensive style we're seeing from even BenBest on Ryan, I feel like Baby Bay's having a really tough time in the McCree matchup because his style is trying to get kills. You saw him struggle on the high ground there against the Reinhardt Zarya. He's going for flanks on hotels. And I don't want to say that Baby Bay is playing badly. He's playing well, and he's playing well to his style. But when you're looking for kills and your opponent's losing the tank war because Xy's not shooting at you, he's shooting at the tanks, sometimes you're going to have a problem with the Mei even. Like, it extends into the Mei when you start losing those tank battles.
They're spiraling out of control there. I mean, it's really rough tidings. Atlanta Reign got to do something to try and get back into this series and go ahead and confirm that there are no substitutions for either of these teams. So they're keeping it standard for what we've seen so far. So Atlanta Reign still feeling confident that this is going to be the roster that can lead them to victory, that can pull off a reverse sweep. So we will not be seeing Edison coming through quite yet.
No,
we
not
will
yet.
not see Gator. It will still be Hawk, who, to his credit, has been playing very well. He's had some fantastic Blizzard denies tonight.
Yeah, he really has. He's been shutting down a lot of what Nico's trying to do. He's a very talented player. And, you know, he's the D.Va specialist, right? I know a lot of people are looking for Gator after his performance yesterday, but with the prep that goes into a series like this and a weekend like this, we know that Gator is the Orisa specialist because he practiced it all the way back as far as Gauntlet. You want a D.Va player who's playing D.Va, right? When you're going to run a mirror like this. So even if perhaps, you know, because Gator can play D.Va too, even perhaps he has the better day, as a coach, you have to make that tough call to keep the player who prepared for this specific hero in, even when you're down 0-2. And like you said, Hawk isn't struggling, he's not playing poorly. It feels like a stylistic mismatch for Atlanta Reign in a lot of ways. We're going to see the Hanzo, it looks like, to start here from Nico. I don't think XC will be, it's not going to be sticking with that. Well, they're not doing it at all, so never mind.
We'll see. It might just be TP around the back here for Paris Eternal. Baby Bay, see how he fares with the Hanzo. Dogman going to be going for another setup play with the Bionade up into the air, but seems like it's not going to be netting anything.
All right, teleporter is placed. Oh. Wall denies him though.
Okay. Can't get to it. So cuts him off, but instead they're just going to go ahead and charge straight up at the members of the Atlanta Reign. Empty God finds the first kill. Erster will fall. Exi beaming down Masa can just absorb so much damage, or build up so much damage rather, with that primary fire, and that is just basically it. Point A going over the Paris Eternal. Atlanta Reign just not really ready for it, even though the teleporter was a complete botch.
FD God cleans up Baby Bay there on the Hanzo. The teleporter's a botch, but the wall gives to Xe instant charge for his left click. So he says, okay, I can't port onto the point, but when I walk up to it, I'm gonna have that extra damage. He's got a photon barrier ready to go. They can take the left side flank with another port here.
Yeah, I mean, talk about fast building.
Yeah, the teleporter, or rather the photon barrier needs to be placed to cut the team in half like we were seeing yesterday. And it's very important that he, kind of bounces between that wall. Baby's not swapping to McCree, by the way. Here's the port.
up onto the high ground. The May wall will push them down. Empty God going to be bionated and slept, so Hawk is able to find the kill. The barrier does come out, but Xe kind of cornered himself in that little cubby. Popo, however, still going to be hosed down. Hit kills him with the Coalescence. Charge over onto the side will knock Hawk out of the mech. Hammer going to be dropped down. Find anything, and Baby Bay will manage to find a kill on a Ben Best. The headshot coming through with the arrows. Seems like Atlanta Reign have successfully staved off the Paris Eternal.
They get
Still,
a tick.
Massive time bank with a tick.
Yeah, they get a tick here, and now they can just swap up heroes. Xe already onto the McCree. Surprised Baby sticks with the Hanzo this long. Great play by Erster, by the way. Twice the Ice Walls deny a teleport. If they get onto that point with a port and set up a really nice photon barrier there in the stairwell, potentially, I mean, it could have been a totally different team fight. So great plays by Erster twice in a row. Time bank is good. The tick is there. Ult advantage goes to Atlanta, though.
Oh, for sure.
And Baby Bay may swap after this Dragon Strike comes out.
You have the Blizzard and the bomb available. Drop down, Dragon Strike going to be tossed in. Paris Eternal just all pull back. So just a time buy ultimate here from Baby Bay.
And a good one at that. Can threaten the backline as well as chunk down shields here in the front.
They're going to be waiting. Still holding on to the May wall. Has to use it in panic. As he knows that if Xe lands that flashbang, the Fan the Hammer will take him down. Got a little bit of armor, actually might be able to make him survive.
Yeah, he would have lived through that, but just barely. You don't want to take that risk.
That's an awkward spot to be in, FD God. Pinned into the wall by the ice block. The shatter coming down from Popo does manage to find several members of the Paris Eternal, but they have to get on top of them still. And it looks like they will be able to chase through here as Paris desperately tries to exit. Ben Best still quite low as Masa swings away, gets that stun in. They will be able to take him out, so it's just now down below 4 minutes for the Paris Eternal.
Extremely ult-efficient pull here for Atlanta Reign, and the shatter comes through right with the rally. That's all they really had to use in terms of big ultimates. The rally's going to be back up so quickly. Paris Eternal don't have a Blizzard yet. Baby, this is his style, right? He doesn't want the damage, he doesn't want the poke, he wants the insta-kills. That's why he's sticking with the Hanzo, and he's looking for the supports behind the shields. And even a pick like that could buy you 30 seconds, 40 seconds. All you have to do is get those kills behind the lines.
There's no one who can really contest him at this range other than Nico. He needs to land a headshot. So Baby Bay, a little feisty, does push out aggressively, just wraps back around, stays safe and close to the team now. He tries to get that next Dragon Strike available. 15% left to go to build that up. Bionade connects in. Xe going to be dropping down into main. It's a nice headshot there on the Baby Bay as the Dragon Strike will come through. He's got to get the heck out of there. He's nearly taken him down. They push forward the sleep in. Hanman has overstepped, trying to get the kill on the enemy Hanzo. Forces out the bomb, but he cannot get back into the mech. Dogman has already taken it out, but Nano Boost goes in. Ben Best gets the shatter on the 2. They look for the cleanup. Blizzard rolling on the point. They're now going to fall. Hawk uses the bomb, manages to find the enemy Lucio, but will be taken down. Second tick now coming through for the Paris Eternal. Can anyone touch the point? Baby Bay tags in for the moment, but Bionade comes up. Also on the Popo. Flashbang in, but Xe gonna fall. Erster comes back in with a Tracer. Masa finds him. Suddenly looking a bit more winnable here for the side of the Atlanta Reign, but they need to survive through the Blizzard. Hawk doing what he can, flying around wildly to try to buy some time. The Maywall cutting off the enemy Doomfist. They get the headshot. They just need 0.3% to close this one out. They cannot survive. Baby Bay gonna be taken out now. Ben Best eliminated. Airster coming back through with a Tracer. Gets himself a double. Nico gonna be gone. He gets himself a triple. FD got eliminated. Dogman gonna be taken down by Hanbin. Airster doing so much work. Suddenly, point starts bleeding away. They get so damn close, but they cannot close it out.
Airster's had so many moments like this on the Tracer throughout his career. He's such a great stall player. When you put him on that hero, ends up getting a triple. We're going to take a look at that again. It's in the chaotic fight where everyone on the Paris Eternal is low on health. That just allows him to come and clean up house. It's not really mechanically that impressive, but it's just the clutch factor and the speed at which he reacts to those moments that opens it up. And Exy's matching the Hanzo now. He's tired of these stray shots taking out Sports.
It's a very nice shot. Shatter out from Pokepo. Not going to be able to find anybody. He himself dangerously low, but Dogman is going to be taken down. Exy and Baby Bay will be swapping over onto the Widowmaker. Channeling some Carpe at the moment. Knocked to the ground, the pin comes through. Popo trying to survive, but Ben Best manages to find him. Baby Bay gets one, gets two. Nico and Hip both gonna be eliminated. Baby Bay now, so much pressure being applied on Ben, manages to make him crumble. Airster back on the Tracer, however, trying to find that clutch factor yet again. Uses the recall, keeps himself alive. He sees how low FD God is, but he dies as he tries to drop the beat. Popo finds the kill. Airster picks up the Mega Pack to stay alive, gets rid of the Baby Diva, and just like that, they are still in the mix. Looking for the chase, the pile driver. Popo takes him out.
What a chase. Gets the pile drive kill on Exy. That delays it. And that almost guarantees a hold here. They'll get their full swaps back, the heroes they want. Love to see Baby Bay on the Widow in these moments too. Just trying to get that extra sightline advantage over Exy, knowing he has vision advantage. And Paris is going to have to hope for a miracle. They've got a nano boost, and they will get Blizzard if they can touch the point. 10 seconds to go. It's going to have to be Hanbin, you have to think.
Oh, Baby Bay taking that shot. Jumps up to the high ground. He's looking for Nico. Now operating on the low ground. Would love to get Hanbin out of this mech. Baby Bay taking a bit of damage, but the sound barrier will be able to keep him alive. Hawk falling lower and lower, but has the bomb to try to get the resuit should he need to. Baby Bay gets rid of him. Nico taken out by Airster. Looking winnable now for the side of the Atlanta Rain. The pin comes in. Ben Best is knocked out of the park. Exy gonna be eliminated. They get so close, 99.7%. But at the end of the day, for Atlanta Rain, it's winnable.
We saw a little bit of everything there. We got to see the clutch Tracer from Airster. We saw Baby Bay pulling out 3 different heroes, taking on the Hanzo now here at the end, or rather the Widowmaker there at the end after the Hanzo to lock down the point. Impressive stuff. 99.7 is all they will get. And as you say, it's winnable. Atlanta could have the beginning of a comeback in their sights right now.
So very close on a knife's edge. Remember, Atlanta Rain need to reverse sweep if they want to take this series. They have a win condition, but can they get there? Can they get across the finish line? We're going to find out when we come back in just a bit. And welcome back. Of course, we're not done. We got plenty of homestands this season, as does the Washington Justice. You've seen one of them. They got 4 more to go, and it's coming up soon, the 7th and 8th of March in DC. So make sure you guys head over to justice.overwatchleague.com for your tickets. It's going to be a lot of star-studded players there, including your own Houston Outlaws. So if you want to shoot over to the East Coast, Houston, make sure you get your tickets, get your flight settled.
Every time I see those promo videos, it's just always you screaming about Stratus and Tori. Like, I feel like you're the voice of that team right now. You and I cast them so much last year.
We had so many moments with the Washington Justice. Maybe we'll have some more this year. But for now, we're settled in with the Paris Eternal and the Atlanta Reign. If you're just joining us, where you been? You've been slacking.
Now, let's zoom in on this match again here, because Atlanta has a win condition. 99.7% is all they have to pass in order to win this map. Again, what could be a reverse sweep, but at the moment, Paris Eternal have their opportunity to shut this down. XC going to stay with a safer McCree here, not running the Hanzo. I'm going to be here just for some additional information. Really slow booster cooldown here, and just going to see the Symmetra early, and then we'll be able to fly away.
Yeah, let's see how this goes for Reign on their attack.
We'll see if the walls are as good.
I think it's highly unlikely that we see it play out the exact same way, but you never know.
Yep.
Teleporting come up, there's the wall. Can't quite get to it. They managed to burn that down, but Baby Bay starts generating energy off of the shield here, Ben Best. Tossing out a couple turrets where he can, but those get cleaned up rather quickly. And yeah, Reign, they don't just plus forward into the Paris Eternal. They're taking their time. They're waiting for that next teleporter. Now looking for the high ground. They don't get cut off this time. Great protection there by Airstrip, but Dogman still somehow going to get picked off, and Baby Bay is left out to dry.
Very easy cleanup here for Paris Eternal, because you have the teleporter set up, you know where it is, but the flank angle there for Hanbin was great. He's doing so much to pressure the backline, so Dogman gets caught as he's trying to get into, help everyone safely get into that teleporter. And I mean, you get one kill like that, and that's all it takes. Look at Hanbin here. He knows the angle. He's up on the high ground. He's been perched here this entire time. Knocks Dogman away, and that's all you need. You just get one kill like that you sweep it up. Half the healing is gone.
Yeah, don't have the mortality field over onto the point. But on the reapproach, Baby Bay still here with the Symmetra. Hip getting jumped onto the back line. It will be taken down. Baby Bay finds him with the turret. Now follows up onto Exy. So very solid start. Baby Bay getting frozen up. Bomb going to be coming out. He'll dip around the corner to keep himself safe. Airster, however, did not have the ice block available. Does fall, but still things looking rather good for Atlanta Reign on the attack. And now they don't have to worry about Nico's Blizzard as well. Invested that on the defense. A really big overstep from him after losing so many members at the start.
They've got so much staying power with the Symmetra. I'm really liking to see Masa on this Brigitte, by the way. He's been playing very well. He's helping to keep the front line alive, but also sometimes the DPS players, you know, in the case of Symmetra, if she lives and has that damage output, it's incredible. So giving that extra armor, as we saw him do to Baby Bay on the defense when he was running the Hanzo just previously, so he could stay more aggressively positioned, safer from icicles, for example. Just love to see it. He's got a rally here for this fight. They will have Blizzard.
Photon barriers out, TP over onto the point. Deadeye's there from XE, but they're all on the other side of the shield. Shield will be taken down. XE maintaining the high ground for now. Takes an icicle from Airster, who nearly has that Blizzard ready to go. Nico going to be eliminated. The immortality field keeping Baby Bay alive. As he finally gets rid of that. People are vulnerable yet again, but he needs to land the shot. Blizzard comes in from Airster. Hanbin frozen, cannot eat it. XE finds one as Baby Bay will fall, but they're on the point of the Atlanta Reign. They nearly have 2 ticks. Dogman hops up, jumping over top of Nico, who comes back in with a Doom Fist, but not before he manages to find 2. Asa and Poke both eliminated, but the second tick coming in. 68.9% for Atlanta Reign. Ben Best trying his damnedest to stay alive. Goes dangerously low. Hawk manages to find the kill, but Dogman gets pressured out. Nico comes back through with the Doom Fist, so this is looking like a hold-off for the Paris Eternal, but Atlanta Reign gets so close on the first volley, and they still have nearly 4 minutes of the time back to finish this.
Impressive play there by FD God, by the way. You pointed it out. He knocks Dogman out of the immortality field there and was able to help clean him up. Really nice awareness there. You don't always want to kill the immortality field if you're Lucio, because you can't kill that quickly, but you can knock them out. So yeah, this is a great position, though, for the Atlanta Reign in terms of timing. They have 3:30 on the clock. And they can, again, just look for one of these rally fights with Symmetra, where she has armor, they get on the point, they have photon barriers, so XE can't poke them, and it was really clean.
Yep.
And all they need is really a rally to make that happen. You can even look for the fight with just Blizzard and the Symmetra alone, but the rally makes it so much more potent. So So it's going to take Masa a long time when there's no damage being done, obviously, to the Paris Eternal. He can't swing at anything. It's one of the hardest ultimates to get outside of a fight.
Well, that's going to be the Photon Barrier yet again. Trying to cut off the McCree, the Deadeye will come through. He's going to be looking to break down the shielding. And he does so. Mortality Field's going to be gone. The Deadeye actually manages to find Hawk. And suddenly, this looks absolutely terrible. This time around, the team wipe don't get a single kill for the Atlanta Reign. And Dogman is still being staggered. Hip will finally finish him off, but they don't get much there, and that was a pretty major investment.
They committed the Blizzard, so it looks like they just wanted to change composition here for Baby Bay, but I feel like if they had just taken a straight-up dry fight, an ultless fight, and went in and built rally on that fight, and went for another big rally push like they did the first time, I feel like that could have been so much more powerful. But, you know, still, as it is, they make the swap. Blizzard would have been so nice to have to keep, though.
Yeah, the pendulum has swung. We saw Nico do it on that point A defense.
Like, that might cost them the series, you know?
It very well could. We got 2 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Flashbang goes out, but XE safe around the corner. Could be a major overstep for Baby Bay trying to find that, but XE gets rid of Masa. Better for Benbest, not leading it too much. Flashbang in, Baby Bay finds the headshot. Nurser, however, sliver of HP. Baby Bay himself dangerously low. Now the front line gonna be gone. A minute and 45 remains.
They get the Nano too. This is still winnable for Atlanta. They still have a decent amount of time left. They've got realistically about 2 team fights left. And you know, a third stagger fight if it ends up being one of those crazy things where you got wrecking balls coming in and all that. Blizzard 30% away. That rally's finally starting to tick up here for Masa. There's a fight where Baby Bay could just get into the face of Paris Eternal and brawl almost as a McCree because he'll have that extra armor. This is going to be the best fight they can take if they're going to really commit ultimates here. Otherwise, they should just try to bait out FD God's sound barrier and take a second one. Rally's out, though.
Rally's out. Armor packs flying. XE going to be taken out. Baby Bay finds a crucial first pickoff. Blizzard around the side. Nico trying to lock them up. Hanbin going to be taken out. The bomb manages to find Baby Bay, and Nico gets rid of Masa. Dogman's still going to be frozen. But now we'll go ahead and thaw out. Benbest is on the point. Hear that Amp Matrix coming through, but Hip goes ahead and eliminates him. The fire strike to the face on the Popo. And suddenly, Paris Eternal looking like they can pull off this 3-0 sweep over Atlanta Reign.
Masa swaps back to Lucio. If you're going to commit the rally to that fight, they still get one more fight despite the delay here. But if you're going to commit that rally to the fight, all you have to do is kill Baby Bay or Airster, but you won't have enough damage to win the ensuing fight.
And look at this. Hawk is just being further delayed. This is absolutely brutal. Finally makes it off the edge, but had the remake get popped out again.
Yep. Now, he will get back to the point on time. They still have 20 seconds. This is all about Airster's Blizzard here. If Baby Bay gets picked for any reason or if Hawk gets frozen, the Deadeye could be so powerful for XE. It's all about the Blizzard right now. They've got one chance, one shot at this, 10 seconds to go.
They've got the Nano. This could be the Electric Cowboy, especially if Benbest can line up the Shatter. Popo on the approach, already taking half HP. Deadeye is out. They get the freeze. XE eliminated. Airster finds the headshot. Now looking for Hip, but can't quite get him. He dips around the corner at the bottom of the stairs. FD God going to be taken down. Benbest going to fall, but now it's the call to Popo and Hawk's mech. The front line broken down for the Atlanta Reign. Do they have the staying power? Airster going to be taking a nap. They're on the point, and they got it.
They did it.
They will not go down.
Airster.
In a 3-0 sweep. Atlanta Reign pick up a map win on Hanamura to keep this series going.
Airster with a huge blaze there, comes around, blocks the Deadeye straight in his face, looks for the freeze, drops the ice block there, the cryo freeze. There's no way X can get value, shuts him down, and the fight ensues off the high ground. What a play from Airster to keep this series alive.
We are far from done, but Atlanta Reign still have their backs against the wall. Need to win 2 more in a row. That was down to the wire. They are not out of the woods yet. We will see if the Atlanta Reign can persevere and push through. It would be absolutely insane to pull off that reverse sweep. We'll see if they can do it when we come back from map number 4.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. Rank up with America's first and only nationwide 5G network.
And this guy, Erster, is just phenomenal. He is truly one of our all-star, superstar players that we have in the league.
The stick from Erster.
Erster just aced it. 6 kills for him. Oh my God.
Erster's been sick on the Doomfist. Oh, Erster! It's a second now for the superstar. Looking for more, but Erster sends him straight back in a body bag. What a play from Erster!
Once again, Erster's just a monster.
It doesn't matter what he's going to be playing. You know he's going to be playing it to a very high level.
Erster shows back up on Tracer. No problem at all. He will get 3 kills, and they will hold. Dude, Erster right now is just hard carrying.
Erster want to go in, but where do you look? Oh, how about 2? And Erster hits the slam dunk.
What a star player he has turned out to be.
Erster gets 5 kills to open up the point. We expect no less by this point.
So long as Erster is alive, you got a chance if you're Atlanta.
Thank you very much. My name's Erster. See you later.
As you heard our good friend Semler say there, as long as Erster is alive, there is a chance. We have seen this time and time again in this series, bringing them back from the brink, making sure that they could win on Hanamura. Now in this, 2 more to go for Atlanta.
He had the saves there, against all odds. The Tracer we saw him come out with. Again, just quick reaction time, getting those kills and cleaning them up quickly. When you're the Tracer in that situation, all you have to do is kill the half-health members of the Paris Eternal, but his target selection was really good, obviously, to help clean that up. Then, you see him go up, toss the Blizzard there on top of Xe, you get the block there on the Deadeye, and his target prioritization is really good. Babybase has been phenomenal as well. I feel like the DPS lineup is kind of underappreciated by us, throughout yesterday, because we were talking about the tank line so much, we were talking about Gator, the double shields. But it's today the DPS lineup that's keeping Atlanta Reign in this series. And there is a chance that they could reverse sweep, but they came in as favorites. No one expected the 2-0 start for the Paris Eternal. We knew it could have been close, but they are keeping the hope alive right now as we head into our 4th map.
Yeah, again, this is so much closer than even I could have anticipated. So fantastic to see that Reign is not going to be backing down. So they do persevere. They put 1 on the board, but they're still a really long ways away from taking this series and moving up 2-0 in the season. Paris Eternal, they're looking hungry. But they are looking determined as well. So we'll see if they can close this out right here, right now, and make a statement. Because, think about everybody's predictions, their power rankings coming into this season. People really kind of lowball, they feel, Paris Eternal a bit, put them further down than they should have been. And Atlanta Reign is way up at the top for almost everybody. This would be such a shift in power.
Absolutely. Some rankings are going to change. I think a lot of people are going to update their rankings after this weekend. Because now that Atlanta's played, we're really just looking at the Asian teams who are big unknowns and question marks. So I think that if Atlanta crushes yesterday and everyone's still extremely placing them highly in their power rankings and then fails today, it certainly changes the dynamic of where the power stands as we head into Dorado here, or could be our last map of the series. Paris are looking to close this one out. A lot of people put Paris low in the power rankings because they judged them based on their performance last season, where they did not have strong showing in GOATs, despite a little bit of a bounce back with Soon and Shadowbird in Stage 4. And I think a lot of people, myself included, were concerned about how the Koreans would mesh with this European roster. How well would the communication work out? How well would the coaching from the Korean staff work out? The Elemistic players coming through. But, I think everyone's been pleasantly surprised with the results so far. To close this one out here would be, a really big statement, as you said. It would really shake things up. And that's one of the beautiful things about having Overwatch players from all over the world and all over so many cities around the world is you can think who's the stronger team, but it only matters who shows up on the day. Xe looking for that opening shot. No, he's not.
Yeah, he's thinking better of it. Sees that they're actually playing right up against the doorway.
Bit of a camp here.
Super aggressive and good unorthodox play right now from the side of the Atlanta Reign. Benbus, however, getting surrounded. He's got nowhere to go. The pack of wolves. They tear him limb from limb. Benbus going to be taken out. Popo, however, is anti. He will be able to hold on for a little bit longer. Flashbang connects. Babybase is going to be retreating with a Wraith Walk. Everyone groups up inside, but Masa He was left out. They shut the door on him.
Yeah, with Masa down, I mean, that's the end of the camp here. You can't control it without the healing.
They're still playing forward. The Coalescence is out from Dogman. Popo, though frozen. Now Flashbang's still going to be sustained for the time being, but Coalescence now does expire. And this is not enough healing from Moira right now to sustain that Reinhardt under so much pressure. So he does fall. Dogman and Baby Bay going to follow suit. By a minute, they will be able to reset and try and contest here, but the forward play doesn't really net too much.
The objective for trying to continue to fight despite losing Masa is to get a blizzard that you can use on this choke point, this archway they're about to go through, but they didn't buy enough time. Paris has their own blizzard, they get around this corner, they get through this archway.
They got a lot more than a blizzard.
Yeah, I mean, they're about to have big 6, but Atlanta wanted to get that blizzard to use in the choke, and they failed, so actually it really comes back to bite them here. Paris get a free push and those ultimates you just talked about.
It all comes down to how they play this out right now. Blizzard is invested. Hawk unable to deny that. Erster and Popo already going to fall on the bomb way into the back from Hawk. Does not find anything. It is just going to be a team wipe. Atlanta Reign crumble. And that was only 2 of the 6 ultimates used by the Paris Eternal. They still have 4 more ready to go.
Atlanta smartly knew that was not going to be a one-team fight. They just kind of bought a little bit of time, didn't really commit anything. And Paris also didn't commit a lot of ults either, but Atlanta was hoping they'd commit more. They find themselves in an unfortunate situation time bank-wise, but that was the smartest move they could have made. They would have wasted ultimates to try to take a fight there.
Very nice by FD God. Secures the high ground by displacing Popo. Now looking for a little bit more, trying to get that McCree knocked to the ground, and that's exactly why Baby Bay managed to find the kill, but 2 members going up, they do manage to find it. Blizzard comes in. Barriers out from the Atlanta Reign. FD God matches and Hanbin will fall. Benbest now going to be taken out. No front line here to stand behind for the Paris Eternal. So this choke control around point A going to be acquired by the Atlanta Reign. A much needed reprieve as the time bank is still around 4 minutes for Paris.
Phenomenal play from Erster. The Blizzard angle is really good there behind his wall. Safe from absorbs, and then he's able to immediately react to Benbest Shatter on a dime and take that close fight there in the choke. Kind of evening up the ult economy now, in fact, kind of pushing it towards Atlanta's favor slightly. And they keep this high ground.
Deadeye's out from Exy, but he gets stunned up. Answering Deadeye now there from Baby Bay. Does not find much, but flips over to the side, spots out FD God, gets rid of Exy. Now he's looking for a bit more. It seems like Baby Bay starting to come online now under auto.
I mean, you give Baby Bay a positional advantage like that high ground, and he's going to click heads. He's an incredibly talented player. He's great at accuracy in terms of, you know, critical hit accuracy on McCree. He's going to hit those headshots. If you give him an unfavorable position, sometimes he takes risks, but...
Speaking of risks.
Yeah, I mean, this is his playstyle, right? He looks for the backline kills.
Looking for him, forces out the Bionet, gets that flashbang in, and Exy gets taken down. Didn't quite know which way the fire is coming from. Baby Bay. Such an aggressive flank, and it pays off.
This is what I love to see, is a Western McCree who plays like this versus a Korean McCree who plays safe. And sometimes playing safe is incorrect. And it's just awesome to see it's a McCree versus McCree matchup, but it's not about the headshots. It's not about one McCree shooting at another. It's about how they play, where they go. And a flank like that, extremely risky, pays off, as you say, buys Atlanta so much more time, and they can just back up to the high ground right where they were, and he's got another Deadeye.
Fantastically done. Nano Boost going to be thrown in now. Benbest getting powered up. The Blizzard comes through. It frees up the Reinhardt. Deadeye does manage to weaken him. Hanbin taken down. Then they get Benbest. Shots coming through. He's looking for FD God. Very well timed Maywall, however, from Nico will deny Baby Bay the sight lines to finish off the enemy Lucio.
Yeah, he's just going to have to back off. Doesn't get away. This cart's going to roll around for one more fight for Atlanta Reign. They have Sound Barrier if they want to take the longer one, but without a Blizzard here, they're probably just going to delay.
They've already bought so much time, though. Reducing the time bank by more than half. Maywall comes up, trying to lock them inside. Flashbang going to be absorbed. They make it to the cart with just 2 meters left to spare. Also holding onto the Sound Barrier. Baby Bay going to be taken down. Hanbin going into the back, manages to find him. Now the bomb comes up over the top looking for a pick, and he will find Popo. And now with Hawk knocked out and eliminated, this will just be Paris Eternal rolling through. As you said, a slight little time buy, but 3 minutes to try to finish Dorado.
Yeah, committing the Sound Barrier there, a bit aggressive, and that's going to be something they're really going to miss for the C contest potentially if this keeps rolling like this. Now they're Blizzardless versus Nico's Blizzard. Hanbin looks great in these moments where he keeps killing Baby Bay solo. That's because he's identified that Baby Bay likes to flank, and that was one of the Atlanta's win conditions, another flank like that. And they didn't have ultimates, so Hanbin just chases him down. Very smart D.Va player.
Got around the back. Cuts off a couple members as Popo drops the hammer. Finds Nico, forces out the sound barrier. Blizzard comes through as Nico gets pinned and taken down. Hawk and Airster eliminated as Exy has open range right now. Headshot onto Baby Bay. He will be finished off.
And this is what I'm talking about. You don't have a Blizzard as Atlanta now. You don't have a sound barrier. The sound barrier could have been used in this fight to help get Airster Blizzard. They could have saved it for C. They still don't have the barrier. Popo's Shadow was amazing, and they collapsed and they committed there, but they just didn't have the ultimates to stick into the fight. They didn't have the staying power. Now they're in trouble here for the C fight. Airster 25% away from the Blizzard.
Saw how well they were able to hold off on Hanamura. Maybe they're going to have the same thing happen here on Dorado Point C. Deadeye not going to be able to find anything. Baby Bay taking a nap. Flashbang in. Doesn't quite get the initial headshot, but follows up and gets the final. Exchange on the Lucios, but it's still so many members on the side of the Atlanta. Rain falling as Hawk will again be desuited as Baby Bay takes a nap. This will be Paris Eternal gliding their way into a finish on Dorado with a minute 31 seconds to spare.
98% of a Blizzard is where Airster finishes that defense. Didn't build it up there. And next he takes a page out of Baby Bay's book, goes for the rare flank. We haven't seen too many from him this series, but he takes the risk there to help close out. They know if they can kill Airster before he has Blizzard, it's an easy cleanup. Very impressive stuff from Atlanta, though, all things considered. Their initial camping, spawn camping type style that they used at the beginning of that defense didn't go very well. Netted 6 ultimates over to Paris Eternal. It looked really dire, but they depleted that time bank down to 91 seconds. We're seeing a lot of different variations of this spawn camp throughout this season. I mean, you know, the selfless style we had before where you had the Roadhog be the main hero in that sort of camp. We saw the Clockwork Vendetta variation of that from EU contenders where you saw May before the 2-2-2 lock was implemented. Now the key hero being the May in a 2-2-2 composition where the ice wall is key when you have the ability to lock somebody up and charge into them with the Reinhardt, for example. There's a lot of different ways the spawn camping style has evolved, but if it works, it's incredibly powerful. But when it fails, I mean, it's kind of like an all-in. When it fails, you get punished big time. But they still got that time bank down after that failure, so that's the most impressive part. Still a winnable map from Atlanta, as long as they can get a good time here pushing through.
Yeah, gotta push this into extra innings. Exy gonna be starting on the Widowmaker for the Paris Eternal. He's getting set up here at the center. Once they spot this, highly likely that we see Baby Bay over to try to match and best him. Let's see, one exiting on that right side. Hawk pushes up over the top. Have they spotted the Widowmaker yet? He hasn't fired a shot, but now they know for sure.
It's very risky what they're running here. Not getting a lot of value either. Widow doesn't have staying power, so he's got to back off, and the cart's rolling for free. This is exactly what Atlanta wants. This is amazing for them. Free roll into this choke with no fear of Blizzard. Nico's not even halfway there yet, and they can even rotate around this high ground. Exy's done very little damage.
Yep. Rather than push around the choke, they want to come through this left side, get in front of the cart, and then start moving it up. Baby Bay thinking better the flank. Waiting for the May wall to come down, throws in the flashbang, gets the stun there on a Ben Best for a moment. Popo, however, dangerously low. Fire strike, plus that Bionade do take him down. Mercy falling as well. Means that this will be the hold for Paris Eternal. They have the cart in a perfect spot with this choke.
Yeah, Atlanta Rain just got outplayed there.
Well, a nice try from Dogman to get an exiting kill, but not so much he can do.
He honestly just gave Nico a bunch more ult charge that he shouldn't have. Now Nico's going to have Blizzard potentially if he can get a few right-click shots here for that choke we were talking about. And Exy's Widow didn't do too much in terms of picks, but doesn't matter if you lose the tank fight in the choke. Look at this, Nico's just playing this position not for kills, but for Blizzard because he knows he can choke Blizzard right there in the archway. And that's all they need to win a fight.
Not really anybody that can contest him either. Looking for the pin. Hanbin going to be pushed over to the side.
Look, he gets a Blizzard, he walks away immediately. He's not looking for freezes.
Hanbin makes his way out. They don't desuit him. And it's absolutely crucial. Would have been a major pickoff for them.
Atlanta trying to take a different route. They don't want to fight in the choke because they know Blizzard is ready.
Intrasight will expire. He's just going to be holding this angle. Deadeye comes out. Baby taken down. You move so slowly still. When you use that ultimate, he gets eliminated. Here comes the Blizzard just for good measure. Nico slapping that one down on the ground. Popo gonna fall. Baby Bay finally gonna be matching the Widowmaker to try and get rid of Xe, but
you know,
have to have a bit of a pop-off performance.
I don't like the swap to Widow here, because the Widow isn't the problem. It's the tank battle that they're losing in these frontline positions where Nico is freezing up Hawk or Pokepo, and they're getting that extra damage through. It's not the Widow that's the issue. And Baby is fighting against unfavorable sightlines here. I think the McCree is the better option. He's gonna risk it. If he can get some good shots, he'll prove me wrong. But look at what he's looking at here. Yeah. Who's he shooting at in this moment? Not a whole lot.
A nice wall for the moment.
Oh, there's one!
Baby Bay, there we go. We got one. Hawk gets two with the bomb. Atlanta Reign, can they keep going? Nico being hounded down, gets the freeze here on the Hawk, but Dogman is there, scoops the kill. They finish him off, and Xe way off to the side. They finally open things up.
Great.
11th hour, but 50 seconds remaining as they push their way into A.
Great lockdown onto Pokepo to make sure this bomb happens. Look at him, the sleep comes through. There's no way, or rather onto Benbest, there's no way for him to block that.
Right back down here, though, into the picture-in-picture. Now into the game, Hanbin knocked out by the poison trap, and Sound Barrier committed to the fight by FD God, so a bit overzealous, but they really wanted to go all in on that defense. Either way, Time Bank is not that great for Atlanta Reign.
Now, if they can get this high ground, Baby Bay can do a ton with the Widow, more than just that thread the needle shot into FD God. He can look for more. He can look for total and absolute control of this choke. Of course, it wouldn't be Baby Bay if he went to the normal high ground spot. He's got to go for a flank, shoots the Diva mech in the face, and then we'll move around to that normal high ground now. As he checks for Xe on the back line.
Being really cautious. Now the Infosight's going to be out. Xe takes a body shot. Can't quite finish him off. Baby Bay, Infosight of his own, is ready to go. Pulling wall hackers essentially right now.
Respect shown on both sides.
Yeah, both going to be knocked down quite low. Baby Bay nearly eliminated, but now Hanbin desuited from the pin. Wall comes up, Nico keeping himself safe, waiting on that ice block timer. But meantime, Pokepo just swinging away. Finally will be put to bed by Hip, but the damage is done. They are breaking through, and they're making pretty solid pace right now on their way towards B, which is exactly what they need.
And Paris is just going to keep fighting this. They're going to run Nico into this cart, have him ice block, because they know that the time bank they have with the finish is quite solid. Atlanta is about to be matching that for the B finish. So buying time is all Paris needs to do here. They don't have ultimates to take a straight up fight, but they can delay. And that's exactly what they're going to try to do. Baby Bay's really respecting Xe, constantly checking sight lines, checking his back.
And that's why you got to respect it. He finds the kill. Now looking for another one. The Maywall will be forced out. Rooster keeps himself safe. Hawk manages to find Xe to alleviate a lot of pressure. They get 0.6 meters away, but this many people falling. Masa now eliminated as well. It's going to have to be a reset for the Atlanta Reign with 1 minute and 15 seconds left.
It's almost ironic that Baby Bay checks behind twice, checks both sides. And it's just a straight up frontal assault that he dies to there from Xe while he's trying to defend other angles. And that's actually what kind of opens things up for Xe there.
Baby Bay's gone again.
Yep. And now, now he doesn't have high ground. He can't get to high ground on the Widow, and Xe just has full control. So it's rough, you know? I mean, last time he got the thread the needle shot there onto FD God, but this time he's going to have a lot more problems, and it's lose-lose here for Atlanta, because even if they get this through ASAP, the time bank is already extremely limited.
Baby Bay so far off from that next Infosight. Xe can just let this one tick up naturally. Now has it available, goes ahead, pops it. Wants to see exactly where they're coming from, wants to see exactly where Baby Bay is at. But he cannot get picked off here.
He just knows where Baby Bay is. They can just fight back against the Blizzard.
There's no way out. Xe finds him. With the help of FD God, gets rid of that Widow, bigger pressure. Sound Barrier going to be used by Masa, the Nano toss out onto Erster. By Dogman, and Baby Bay will be swapping over onto the Sober to try to rejoin in the fight ASAP. Masa going to be taken down. Hip going to be gone. Sound Barrier shields are out for the Paris Eternals. They try to hold on, but the tank line being broken down. The chatter comes in. Hanbin going to be desuited. It seems like Atlanta Reign not yet done. A couple extra kills in. Paris Eternal will not be able to delay this any further. Just have to clean up that enemy Lucio. They get the poop away. They get the kill in midair. Benbest comes back through, but now going to be walled off as they look to take him down. Round 8 in onto the enemy Meg. Can they actually pull this off? They're desperately trying to. The recall out from Xe, coming back through with the Tracer, blinks over to the side, but Erster is doing so much work. Gets the headshot there on the hip. Pushed back through now for Hanbin. Neck falling lower and lower quite steadily. The pin is good for Pokepo. He'll be popped out. That will finally be point B. Snatched up for the Reign. 1.5 minutes
It was
left to go.
It was a valiant attempt, but it gave Baby Bay a lot of ult charge, and I really like the Sombra swap because they can use that EMP to cap C, keep their chances alive. And
solid start.
Yeah, now they're down on numbers too because they got staggered there by trying to stick around so long on the point. Atlanta not a good time bake, but their chances of finishing are quite high with the ultimates they've got available. No Blizzard for Nico.
Got to be thinking at this point, though, this is likely going to be an overtime finish, meaning that Paris Eternal will move up to 2.5 minutes. Just 1 minute for the Atlanta Reign in extra innings if we get to that point. 3-man Bionade connecting onto the high ground there. Delays Paris, start wrapping their way around, now drop down straight on top of the members of the Atlanta Reign. Hack comes in, they manage to find Nico, now FD God's gonna be taken down by the bomb from Hog, but Airster will fall, the Blizzard not netting them much. XE finds 3, cutting them down, and suddenly 1 fight territory. The EMP is still there from Baby Bay.
That's all they've got.
That's about all they've got. Sound barrier nearly up for Masa, and 27 seconds.
Ben Best, he hits the shatter there, and actually just cleans up house, and he knows there's one place Baby Bay could be, hits that flashbang, EMP's their win condition out. There's a nano boost to counter.
EMP's out, finds 2, it's gonna be on the tanks, but Airster's the first one to fall. They might have pulled the trigger a little bit too quickly. The card is still rolling back. They have not made their way over yet. Masa will be able to tag in, but the barrier already expiring. Erster swaps over onto the Tracer, the Deadeye. Manages to find the enemy Lucio, so Masa is eliminated, and Hawk is barely holding onto his mech. T-Matrix does not last long enough. Drops back down. God will fall, Baby B finds that kill, but gets cleaned up by Hanbin. Popo, frozen, eliminated. Hawk out of the mech. Dogman gone. Erster with a sliver of HP. There is nothing that he can do. Masa tags back in, but there's just a Blizzard to grate him. The Paris Eternal have held them off. They have taken the series 3-1.
What an upset here. Paris Eternal taking out Atlanta in their second series. It was a close one. Definitely not one-sided. But I don't think anyone expected Paris to look this clean against what we saw from Atlanta yesterday and what everyone knew this roster was capable of coming into 2020. The great plays all around there at the end. The Ben Best shatter that allowed XE to clean up to prevent the EMP fight. Then the second fight with the EMP, they forced them to take it in the archway off the point. They played forward. The decision-making on this team is far more advanced than you would expect from a team that's just added Koreans for the first time, is trying to learn how to communicate this multi-language roster. And I, myself, am very impressed, and I think a lot of people are starting to realize they were wrong about where they had Paris in the rankings coming into 2020 as this team looks stronger and stronger, and they haven't even unlocked Sparkle yet.
I will admit, I ranked them a bit lower, but I also said that they were my dark horse team. And right now, they're certainly looking like a dark horse based on everybody else's predictions in the standings. Paris, a superb showing here. Atlanta Reign back to the drawing board for them. Gonna have to shake off this loss and get ready for the next match. But guys, we've got Jake standing by on stage with none other than XE, so let's go ahead and hear from him.
Thanks so much, casters. I'm down here on the floor with XZ. First of all, congratulations on the win. You can see the fans are really appreciating it. What I first wanted to ask is, as a rookie player, you've quickly made a name for yourself. Are there any particular veterans in the Overwatch League that you want to take on next?
우선 엑지 선수 승리 축하드립니다. 지금 엑지 선수가 신인으로서 굉장히 빨리 오버워치 리그 팬들에게 엑지 선수의 존재감을 알렸는데 혹시 다음 상대해보고 싶은 베테랑 리그 선수가 있을까요?
저는 이제 리그에서 탑으로 불리고 있는 코리 선수와 저번에 한번 경기를 해봤는데 제가 아직 리그에 온 지 얼마 안 됐고 준비된 게 별로 없어서 많은 모습을 보여주지 못했어요. 근데 이제 다음 워싱턴 경기 때 코리 선수와 맞붙게 된다면 그때 진짜 좋은 모습 보여드리겠습니다.
So coming into the league, XE is saying that he faced Corey, one of the best DPS, but he wasn't quite ready for the match, so he thinks he didn't perform well that match. But next time when we have the Washington homestand, we'll be make sure that he stomps on the best DPS player in the league.
The fans are loving the energy. And next I wanted to ask you, as a mixed roster, how have you overcome the communication barrier and played so well together?
믹스 로스터로서 언어 장벽이 존재할 텐데 어떻게 그걸 극복하고 잘 플레이할 수 있었는지 궁금합니다.
일단 리그에 와서 일단 경기를 뛰게 됐을 때 일단 저희가 무조건 이겨야 하니까 이겨야 한다는 마음으로 게임을 하다 보면 자동적으로 입에서 영어가 나오고 자동적으로 의사소통이 되는 것 같습니다.
So XE is saying, coming into the league, if you think that you have to win the game, then English just comes out of your mouth, and that helps with the communication.
Thank you so much, XE, and congratulations again. Great victory. And back to you guys on the casting desk.
Thank you very much, Jake. Good to hear from XE. Good to hear that he's kind of settling in now. Didn't feel that comfortable in that first series that he had played here in the Overwatch League, but now is very much putting up some solid numbers, and I think he's getting a lot of attention from the fans.
Indeed. I mean, this is a player who's also shown a lot of respect for Corey, obviously, and is very much in tune with the league. And I think, seeing young players like this come into the league and go into multinational rosters, that's awesome to see how successful.
I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I hope you're all right.
What an interesting way to finish our Coca-Cola victory moment. But we'll get you back in your seats.
I think it was a dive to try to catch the hat.
The Houston Outlaws they're playing the last series, so you guys can either stay in your seats until then you can fall out of them later. But what a series. Absolutely incredible. And I mean, from the side of Paris Eternal, so many people leveling up their performance from what we have previously seen. Player of the match becomes a pretty difficult choice. There's a lot of different options, but there's only one at the end of the series. So let's go ahead and take a look at who it is, and it is Hanbin.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a real case for XE. I know a lot of people are probably surprised by this pick, but the amount of pressure that Hanbin alleviated, the amount of times he put pressure onto BabyBay when he was flanking, or even the picks he had onto Dogman and Masa, when sometimes we had those flanks coming through from BabyBay, or Pokepo coming in looking for a shatter, Hanbin was always there to kind of catch the players that were left alone off guard and pick up the pieces in a lot of these really big team fights, setting up several big bombs as well. And it's the pressure that a D.Va can put on while also alleviating enemy pressure that often goes unnoticed, and Hanbin ends up being your player of the match just because of his consistency throughout the series.
Yeah, I mean, 46 knockback kills. Pretty crazy stuff here from Hanbin. So going to be trending upward. Already saw that he had some very solid stats at the beginning of the day. And imagine that they're just getting better and better as time goes on. Hanbin truly a stellar pickup for the side of the Paris Eternal. Got to be feeling pretty good about that one. But guys, we're just halfway through the day. We still have 2 more series. Next coming up, it's going to be the London Spitfire going up against the Florida Mayhem. See who can come out on top of that. Another Korean clash. We'll see you on the other side of this break.